Coming up on DC News Now, midweek chills rolling in today. Coldest day this week so far. Meteorologist Damon Madsen is tracking the weather.
More funding is needed so that people can access affordable health care in Prince George's County. I'll tell you how leaders are trying to find a solution.
Then President-elect Donald Trump making major picks to his administration as he preps to meet with President Biden and Republicans on the Hill today. And we're showing you ways to get smart with your holiday shopping. Learn creative tips and tricks to keep your wallet full for the holidays. And the 6 wives of Henry VIII take the stage to tell their stories in the iconic musical Six. Find out where you can catch the world-famous show.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Meteorologist Damon Madsen joined us now with the latest check on the forecast. Damon, as expected, a chilly start to the day.
Did you see your breath out there this morning, Mark? I have to ask.
Well, I didn't walk to the car. I kind of jogged, so, and I held it. But yeah, hey, you said it was going to be chilly, and you didn't disappoint.
Yeah, we had that cold air last night. It rolled right on in, and early this morning we saw some of the chilliest temperatures we've had so far in this fall season. DC was one little exception to that. We kept a little bubble of middle 30s, but everybody else dropped into the 20s. And now, as we have moved into the early afternoon, well, it's warmed up from those very cold readings earlier this morning, but it is still brisk and chilly out there as we head into the second half of the day. DC, parts of southern Maryland have managed to climb back up to around 50 degrees, but everybody else is still in the middle to upper 40s. This is easily one of the coldest days we've had in quite some time. And this chilly air does look to hang around because, well, high pressure is anchored in right along the Appalachian Mountains here, and it's keeping a light northeasterly wind in place, just pushing that colder air back up against the higher terrain. Now, this high, it's going to be getting out of here eventually. Notice the high cloud cover that is streaming in from the west. That is the next storm system that is going to bring some unsettled weather starting as early as tonight for parts of the DMV. So in the meantime, well, we'll get to enjoy this quiet setup for the rest of the day. Yes, it will be chilly with those clouds increasing, but overall, it will be a quiet rest of your Wednesday. Now, that next storm system, we'll talk about the precipitation it is going to bring, how long it will stick around, coming up in your full forecast in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Prince George's County leaders are trying to find ways to continue funding a program that provides affordable health care to those without insurance. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sisay spoke to leaders and advocates about why this is such a big concern.
Prince George's County leaders have been using federal dollars to help fund community health centers that are taking care of people who just can't afford health insurance. Now that money is slowly depleting, and leaders are trying to find ways to fund the program so people can still have access to affordable health care.
It's a huge need.
The Health Assurance Program has helped subsidize primary health care for thousands of people who are low income, underinsured, and uninsured in Prince George's County. And now more money is needed from the federal, state, and county level to keep this program going.
The FQHCs are contributing a substantial amount of service to the community. The county needs to find a sustainable way to fund a portion of these services. And then there are entities, the business community and hospitals are also in a position where they might be able to support this.
Many who benefit from the program are undocumented, don't have jobs with good insurance, or just have to pay out of the pocket, which puts them in debt.
A lot of our residents are where they make too much to get Medicaid. They're too young to be on Medicare, and then they have to purchase a health insurance. And then when they go into the health insurance exchange, the plan that will be most fitting for them and their families is like $600-700 a month.
Prince George's County Council members introduced a resolution to create a work group to find ways on how to keep funding the program so everyone can get access to the health care they need. Now, the County Council will have a final vote on this, and if passed, it will go into effect in January. Reporting in Largo, Maryland, I'm Jean-Marie Sisay, DC News Now.
Jean-Marie, thank you. A Maryland man accused of murdering in a murder, in a local Prince George's County community is on the run. Take a look at this picture. Prince George's County Police say that they are looking for 44-year-old Fausto Soriano. He's accused of killing 53-year-old Angel Martinez back in May. It happened in Riverdale Park near Riverdale Road and Colorado Boulevard. Investigators believe that the suspect beat the victim to death. They say that he died from blunt force trauma. Now, police say that a reward is being offered leading to Soriano's arrest. He's facing first and second-degree murder charges. Shelter pausing all dog adoptions because of an illness outbreak. This was announced yesterday. The shelter says it's quarantining all dogs to contain the illness and will be doing ongoing testing on all of the animals. The shelter says that dogs will not be allowed to leave the shelter unless it's returning to the owner. An adoption is already in process and if the dog is not sick or if it was considered for fostering and not showing signs of illness.
Thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough. And it's, in many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today. And I appreciate it very much.
Big day in the White House today. President-elect Donald Trump making a return to Washington, D.C. He's meeting with President Biden at the White House and visiting Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill. National correspondent Trevor Shirley has the details.
First, though, the president-elect visited elected Republicans near the Capitol. He met with congressional Republicans fresh off their electoral victories last week. Mr. Trump spoke with Senate members as Senate Republicans elect their new Senate Majority Leader today. He also met with members of the House.
I just want to thank everybody. You've been incredible. We worked with a lot of you to get you in. And you helped me, and you helped me too.
The president-elect then meeting with President Joe Biden at the White House. That invitation was extended following Mr. Trump's win last week. It's the kind of meeting which traditionally happens when a new president is elected. 4 years ago, it did not, as then President Trump was disputing the election results. The White House says the symbolism of today's meeting is important for a divided nation to see.
Our thanks to Trevor. Lawmakers are back in Washington as Republicans are prepared to have a majority in the new Congress. Now, they're still likely to have a very slim majority in the House. Speaker Mike Johnson has promised to quickly deliver on President-elect Trump's agenda and renewing his tax cuts and securing the southern border and passing a series of new energy policies. Senate Republicans are picking a new leader, as you heard of a short time ago, later today. Meantime, newly elected Democrats are preparing to serve in the minority. They stress that they want to work with Republicans on the biggest issues of the economy and immigration. And preparations are underway in the district for President-elect Donald Trump's upcoming inauguration. Mayor Bowser also says that she's planning to mobilize the National Guard for the big day. And D.C. police are expecting about 4,000 police officers from across the country to help out. Now, along with the inauguration, district leaders are anticipating what changes a second Trump presidency could bring to the region. Previously, President-elect Trump said that he would federalize D.C.'s police force, and many federal agencies could be downsized or moved out of the district. Mayor Bowser responding, saying that she's ready for whatever the administration throws at the district.
I think it's important for all DC residents to recognize we're not in a new place. We've been in this place before. And what we have done is we followed the law and we defended ourselves.
Inauguration Day, Monday, January 20th. Stretching your dollar this afternoon, Giant is helping families prepare for Thanksgiving. And Giant members can cash in 400 points to claim a free turkey. That's starting November 15th. The company says it also is donating 15,000 birds to 24 food banks in 4 states, including Virginia and Maryland. And workers will be volunteering to help pack food boxes. And you can also help. From November 15th to the 28th, you can donate free turkey certificates at checkout. Well, the temps outside are finally feeling like we're headed towards winter, and that means it's time to start preparing for holiday shopping. And experts say the best way to stretch your dollar is to have a plan and a budget ready to go. DC News Now's Haley Milon has some tips to get you started.
A lot of questions of like, oh, are you like, who are you buying for? How many people?
And you want to spend enough where you don't get something cheap.
As Georgetown storefronts begin to deck the halls, Experian reveals that more than half of consumers are stressed about finances and spending this holiday season. The rest of them? They're in denial, says Rod Griffin of Experian.
90% said that they're tempted to overspend. And I think the other 10% are probably in denial too.
Griffin says preparation is the key.
Make a list, check it twice.
Do that by setting a budget for each person on your list.
I already have a list that I wrote down, I think last week.
Way to be prepared. Now, how to pay. 59% say they'll use a credit card, but note high interest rate. Griffin says know what you're paying and when you need to pay by.
So that you're not paying on this year's holiday spending next year and increase that stress.
15% of shoppers 18 to 44 years old plan to open a new credit card before the holidays. If that's you, Griffin says to check out Experian's online marketplace with no ding decline, meaning your credit won't take a hit if you don't qualify.
I personally am probably going to be spending a little bit less.
And honesty might be the easiest solution for your stress. Griffin says level with friends and family about expectations.
You tell them, look, I have spending limits that I have to set, and you would be surprised how many of your friends and family will say, thank you for telling me that, because we do too. And that takes some of that stress off.
Our thanks to Haley Milan. And is there someone who's making a big difference in your community? Someone who's changing lives and inspiring others? DC News Now is accepting nominations for remarkable women. And to nominate someone, just go to dcnewsnow.com/remarkable. A winner will be announced in the spring.